The pandemic has wreaked havoc on the local economy, but the tourism and cultural arts industries are on life support. That's why they've asked the Durango City Council to place a 3% lodgers tax increase on the city's April ballot. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by the Payroll Department. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. Visit Durango, the Durango Area Hospitality and Lodging Association, and the Durango Creative District have proposed to raise the Durango area lodgers tax, and they've asked City Council to place the proposal on the city's April ballot. The increase would raise the total lodgers tax from 2% to 5% and would generate an additional $1.6 million in revenue based on lodgers tax revenues from 2019. The 2% lodgers tax was adopted in 1980 and has remained the same rate since then. Visit Durango Executive Director Rachel Brown said details on how the proposed revenues will be spent is still in discussion.
So there are a number of different options of how the 3% could be used. We're proposing that 2.5% potentially go to Visit Durango to increase our budget more in line with other competitors, so we can be more competitive in the market, and so we can also focus more on sustainability and responsible tourism. And then the other portion of it, it might be a potential 0.5% could go to the Creative Arts Commission, which would be public art projects, the Durango Creative District, and that would actually filter down to all the cultural nonprofits in town, like Music in the Mountains, the Durango Arts Center, etc. So there'd be a little bit spread throughout a lot of the community.
Although lodgers tax revenues have dropped by more than 35% in 2020 with the pandemic, the tax has generated a little more than $1 million annually during the previous 4 years. 60% of those revenues are used to market Durango to attract visitors to the area, while the city takes 40% to support special events and transportation. Brown said that nationally, 72% of lodgers tax revenues are spent on marketing, while the remainder is used for a variety of programs like historic preservation, urban renewal, convention centers, support for the arts, and other quality of life programs. The lodgers tax is paid by guests who stay at hotels, bed and breakfast establishments, and vacation rentals. Guests also pay city, county, and state sales taxes totaling 8.4%. If voters approve the increase, guests would pay a total of 13.4% in sales taxes. That's equal to about $13.40 for every $100 in hotel charges. Colorado average for sales and lodgers tax is 11.6%, and in the region, the average is 12.6%. Brown said Visit Durango would spend its share of the new revenues to increase the number of domestic and international visitors to the area, particularly during Durango's slower months from November through April. It would also target more groups, business meetings, and sporting events. In a presentation to City Council earlier this fall, Visit Durango said the increased marketing budget could help the lodging industry recover more quickly from the pandemic. The City Council is expected to review the proposed ballot language in January. To follow the progress of the proposed lodgers tax increase, visit durangogov.org and check City Council meeting agendas. Thanks for watching this edition of the Local News Network. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle.